Okay, Warpugs. This is one that every single time I have sat down, I have wanted to do. Every single time I have sat down the past few weeks, I have wanted to continue on the series of SCP-001 Daybreaks. Because today we are on one of my favorite SCPs, the Plague Doctor. Now, SCP Illustrated has gone through a branding change. He is now Mr. Illustrated. So Mr. Illustrated has done some fantastic stuff. And Mr. Illustrated, you have my absolute full support in what you're doing, bud. But today we get to SCP-049 in this series. I have no idea what is going to happen with this. Some of these have surprised me, especially the old man. The old man episode surprised me. So far, one of my favorite episodes has been Unlondon. I love the way that went down. Voices was absolutely horrifying. As this continues on, I'm wondering what's going to continue to happen in this story. Let's just get into it. Here we go.
Good day everyone and welcome to When Day Breaks. This time, the good doctor is here, SCP-049. But he won't be recommending fresh air and exercise.
I doubt it.
As with everything relating to the When Day Breaks event, it's best to just stay inside. And while the rest of the world turns into human sludge, you can browse the entire internet. But to see every possible film, show, and stay protected from any hackers safe in their sunproof basements, you're gonna need Atlas VPN for that.
Alright, so Atlas VPN. Let me do a quick check of when this came out to see, because I do not know when this came out. It came out a year ago. I will be putting this in the description down below. And hold on a second. I'm not sure if this is going to be something that is still active. So, not knowing that, I'm just going to let this play. Guys, if you hear about this and like it, then I 100% recommend that you use the links that I'm going to put in the description down below for this. Because, hey, there you go. Get yourself a VPN if you feel like you need to. Here we go.
Atlas VPN is a data encryption tool that hides and replaces your virtual location on the internet. With this tool, you can choose where you want your location to show as. Geo restrictions prevent you from streaming certain films in certain countries, but if you select the UK as your location, for example, you can suddenly stream all these new films and shows that you could only access in the UK. Changing your digital location also alters the costs of online services, such as subscription packages and streaming sites. Many platforms and even airline companies track your internet cookies and IP address to display appropriate prices. Change your location to somewhere cheaper and boom! You've got the same products, they're just cheaper.
Nice.
Also, a random username does not grant you full anonymity online. Your IP address can be tracked to find your real address and sensitive information, which can then be sold, leaked, or used as blackmail. Atlas VPN will block any malicious links and disguise and replace your IP address. And with the Data Breach Monitor tool, you'll be able to do a web-wide search to see if any of your personal information was leaked in any data breaches. To stay fully protected online, download Atlas VPN now. It's supported on all devices, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can find the link in the description below.
Description below, guys. Here we go.
Chief Engineer Murphy O'Neill of Site 54 cautiously stepped backwards, firing round after round into a crowd of humanoid creations lumbering their way towards him. A couple went down, but the rest barely seemed to notice. The door! Open it now! Murphy turned and shouted at his companions before returning back to firing. The SCP-131 twins frantically cooed at each other as they attempted to override the door security. 131A barged through his sibling and entered the override code that the other was too careless to get right the first time.
Oh my god.
As the door lifted, Murphy slung his rifle to his side and pushed the trolley carrying the twins through the door. He slammed a fist against the emergency lockdown system, sealing the door for good. He dropped to his knees and breathed hard, before giving the twins a stern look. What happened back there, guys?
What?
The 131 items began chirping.
I haven't seen anything about 131, the iBots.
Frantically, but Murphy held up a hand.
Never mind. I'm sorry I asked, jeez.
Murphy stood up and began pushing the trolley down the corridor. This trolley was one of his greatest creations in his opinion. When things all went to pot and all the dangerous things got loose, SCP-131 actively tried to help people.
Nice.
He had rewarded them by building them their own method of locomotion and interaction. An interface tracked their eye movements. They could use this interface to wirelessly interact with site systems. They could even communicate with Murphy through a module built into his mechanical left arm. They were named Oscar and Yasmin,
Nice.
and they were his only friends.
Orange and yellow.
Murphy slung his bag off his shoulder and dropped it on the trolley, revealing a number of mechanical parts and electrical circuits. The twins came over to investigate. Oscar began chirping, and Murphy heard the words relayed from the trolley to his arm module.
Are these the parts?
They are. They ought to fix the busted transmitter.
Yasmin chimed in.
Do you think anyone will hear us this time?
I hope so.
Their home was quite an extravagance. He had taken up residence within the site director's office. Sofas, a TV, a private bathroom, and even sleeping accommodation. The windows were all blacked out. The twins disembarked the trolley and raced over to a small indoor jungle gym Murphy had built for them.
Ah, that's nice of him.
Murphy fired up the kettle as he pulled a pot noodle from his stash. Not the most nutritious meal, but it had been a tough day.
Yeah.
He needed something easy. He set himself down at the computer with his noodles while the twins played a game of tag. The CCTV didn't show anything of real consequence. Empty halls, except for a few hordes of 049 creations in the lower levels.
Lovely.
Site 54 was isolated in the desert and relied on solar energy. Unfortunately, the generators failed when the sun went weird. The system fused, the security went down, and all the SCPs got loose. The staff took refuge in the lower levels, while the SCPs got turned to mush in the sunlight.
Is that 682? Tell me that's not 682.
Murphy volunteered to go and fix the system, but unknown to them all, SCP-049 had been down there with them the entire time.
Oh.
He quietly converted survivors into his own creations, and before long, Murphy was the only one left.
Oh boy.
Murphy turned off the display, drained the last of his noodles, and sat down at the sofa.
You two, come here.
The twins produced a slightly sad tone as they reluctantly left the play area and joined Murphy.
Look, I understand there is a lot of pressure on you both in the heat of it, but we can't afford slip-ups like that. Thankfully for you, Yasmin, Oscar took the initiative and got that door open. Otherwise, I'd be a zombie by now, and you would both be... well, I don't know what he would have done with you two.
No idea.
The twins looked down and produced another sad tone. Murphy felt his wrist vibrate again.
We're sorry.
All right. Now, why don't you go and find us a movie?
Yeah, movie time.
Yasmin gave a very excited squeal and made a beeline straight for a DVD of Moana sat beneath the TV.
Again? We watched that one yesterday. And the day before.
Oscar joined in and also began offering Murphy excited tones.
They like Moana.
Defeated.
Let them have it.
Murphy set the film to play and left the twins to watch it while he went instead to get some sleep.
There you go. Yay.
The scorched desert winds hammered Murphy's biosuit as he tightened the last few bolts on the transmitter. While the sunlight was harsh, actual 001 flesh entities were very rare to see out here. A blessing that this site was built in such a remote place. He was on the roof and a glance out across the sandy dunes provided both the assurance of no flesh activity, but also reminded him that once the supplies ran out, he was screwed.
Anything!
He called out to the twins, who were at the bottom of the maintenance ladder monitoring a display on the wall.
Transmitter operational. The only signal being received is the repeat from Site 19. Nothing else.
Murphy sighed and slumped against the transmitter. Nothing. Not even a whisper from anyone else out there. He packed up his tools and began descending the ladder. A sudden bang rocked the facility, and he fell the last few rungs, landing awkwardly with a yelp, twisting his ankle. The twins rushed over to see how he was, but he ushered them away as he quickly began checking the monitor for CCTV and system diagnostics.
Okay.
The lower levels have been breached.
Lovely.
Multiple large-scale biomasses detected.
The flesh?
No external breaches detected, or any 001 indications.
049's been making something, it seems.
Biomass
Lovely.
ascending to level 3.
Shit! Don't let them get to level 2. Activate the Tesla gates while I get the CCTV up for that level.
Biomass ascending to level 2. Tesla gates online. Biomass contained.
The monitor
Okay.
fired up with a CCTV display, and the twins came over to view the horror.
Those are some chunky boys.
Standing at nearly 7 feet tall was this monolithic creature. Several of them, in fact. Humans with hulking frames and contorted faces.
49 made Space Marines. 49 is the Emperor. And the Pestilence is Chaos. Yay!
Their skin was all torn and stretched and frayed, unable to hold in the muscle bulging out from the body. Their faces conveyed nothing but rage and animalistic expressions. One of the creatures showed severe burns to its face and body. Murphy figured that one had run into the Tesla gate.
Yay.
Oh, we need to get back home. Oscar, can you monitor the system remotely?
Oscar gave an acknowledging tone, and Murphy began pushing them down the corridors with haste.
Ring-a-ring-a rosies, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down.
No.
lights
That's
went out.
bullshit.
Oscar?
No.
Power cut in the lower levels. Fault detected in the main circuit.
A few seconds later, and the corridors were awash in the emergency red lights. Murphy began running through the corridors as fast as his throbbing ankle would allow.
Insufficient power. Tesla gates disabled. Biomass ascending to level 1.
Fuck! Where are they?
Murphy screeched to a halt as a horde of his former colleagues came around the corner ahead of him. He shouldered his rifle and began firing into the group. The trolley immediately did a 180 turn and began heading down another corridor. The sound of thunderous crashes echoed all around them. Those things were getting closer. As the twins went round another corner, a piercing screech came from them both.
Oh,
Murphy went round
no.
after them and came face to face with SCP-049.
There you are. Stop resisting. I'm here to cure you.
No.
Murphy instantly ducked under the arm and thrust the butt of his rifle into 049's side, sending him falling to the floor in a cry of pain. Murphy raised the muzzle and fired 2 shots into the back of 049's head, sending pieces of mask, skull, and splashes of blood across the wall behind him. The robed man fell to the floor, coughing up pieces of his own jaw.
Proximity alert.
Murphy had no time to react as a colossal fist came through the wall. Murphy felt something hit his chest. The sound of smashing glass filled his ears, and the sight of the quickly approaching entrance hall floor filled his vision as he plummeted towards it.
No.
Murphy opened his eyes and felt a jolt of pain coming from his chest with each breath. He had definitely cracked a couple of ribs in the fall. Across from him, Yasmin was screaming mournful tones as they circled the remains of Oscar, who had been crushed by debris. He
I'm
regained his
sad
footing
now.
and approached Yasmin, who was still screaming. They began quickly looking from Murphy to Oscar, as if indicating for Murphy to do something.
I'm so sorry, little one.
Yasmin looked straight at him and began making more aggressive tones. Even with the trolley gone, Murphy could tell Yasmin was in terrible pain.
I can't fix him. I'm sorry.
The wall in front of them suddenly crumbled as the creatures came trampling in, followed by a horde of people he once knew. Yasmin cowered behind Murphy as they both backed up against the entrance gate behind them. The creatures cornered them both in a semicircle, and then just stopped. They just stared at them both.
Ugh.
A sudden raspier, echoing breath took precedence as SCP-049 limped into view and approached Murphy. He was a mess. Blood and gore adorned the front of his robes. Absent an eye and most of his face, Murphy's earlier shots had inflicted considerable damage.
Oh my god.
Yasmin rushed forward and stood between Murphy and SCP-049,
No.
defiantly shouting at him. SCP-049 kicked Yasmin across the room, where one of the large creatures rose his foot and crushed Yasmin under it. Murphy
Why?
screamed and ran at SCP-049 in anger and went to strike him. SCP-049, however, simply moved aside and kicked Murphy in his already hurting ankle and sent him sprawling to the ground. He then stood over him, dripping blood still. There was only one hope left. Murphy reached into his biosuit trouser leg pocket and pulled out an emergency flare.
Your bullets did not stop me. You think that will?
No. But I know something that will.
Murphy said,
Oh,
before aiming the flare
God.
and firing it up towards the ceiling. The fire suppression system immediately activated. An alarm began blaring, water poured down from the ceiling, and the entrance gate began to open. Sunlight poured into the room. SCP-049 roared as his creations began melting before his eyes, turning into flesh. Months of work and refinement gone in seconds.
Oh my God.
He turned back to Murphy, who was already limping away towards another corridor. He made to follow him, but a fleshy appendage grabbed him by the leg. The gate continued to descend, bathing more of the room in sunlight. He backed away and pressed himself against the wall. Murphy turned to see SCP-049 give him a look of anger and fear as he closed the door, leaving the doctor to the mercy of the flesh.
Oh my God.
And that concludes this When Day Breaks video. When Day Breaks will return in October, when we will venture to Undublin. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Big thanks to all those who helped, and a massive thank you to all the amazing patrons
Unbelievable.
and members who keep the channel going. Please consider joining them. And thank you.
Oh my God. I absolutely love it, guys. I absolutely love it. SCP-049, I like him because he's just so... in a entire thing of unique characters, he is singularly unique to me. This, oh wow, it didn't go the way I expected it to. It really didn't. But 49 is dusted. There's no way he survives the flesh. There's no way he survives what they're going to do. I was kind of interested to see if he would have been converted into one of the flesh, but I'm guessing that 49's ultimate fate might be left vague at this point, and that might also be a good thing. I'm just wondering if 682 was absorbed by the flesh and what that could mean. What that would mean. Oh, wow. I absolutely love this. I love this series. This series is so well done, guys. I have been enjoying this series since you guys first turned me on to it, and I haven't stopped. We're going to be checking out the next episode. Okay, so my main goal is to get to this series, get caught up completely with this series, and see where Mr. Illustrated goes from here. I really can't wait to see where they take this to, where this goes to. If you didn't know, Mr. Illustrated has broken from SCP, and he is now starting on a completely different path. He is still doing, when day breaks, he is still doing some SCP videos, I know, but he's been going on a different path. Guys, I fully support anybody making these kinds of decisions. Go check out Mr. Illustrated, subscribe to him. Definitely leave a like on this because, oh my God, I absolutely love this. Help him out with the algorithm. Anytime you change what you majorly do, your areas of focus, the algorithm does not like that. So you got keep him good to go. 100% Warpugs, 100%. And aside from that, if you'd like to support my channel, leaving a like and a comment on this video is perfect. I have the next episode of 5-ish Minute Lore coming out on Thursday, and that will be on Jindor Shrivok, and I mispronounced the name wrong again. I know it. With all that being said, though, guys, just know this, okay? Just know this. I have so much stuff that I want to get done, but there's never enough time. Some of you guys have asked me for specific requests. No, I want to get to them. I really do. But there are so many requests now. There are so many requests that if I did 2 videos, if I checked out 2 videos a day and did if I checked out 2 videos a day, it would be next year before I finished. That's how many requests are active right now. So I'm not checking out what you want me to see. There's just so much of it. So at some point I've got to change. I've done one change to the way I am handling requests now. I might do a few more. And just know that there's only one of me. I have the best possible problem to have as doing what I do. Never enough time in the day to get to all of it. And that's okay. Until next time, guys, if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon and PayPal down below. I will catch you guys next time. And Mr. Illustrated, you do fantastic stuff no matter what you do, my friend. I'll catch you guys next time.